What is up? What is up? Welcome back to the Silver Surfers channel, and I got a very special one for you guys to see today. First off, if you haven't already, I ask that you go ahead and click that subscribe button below, give me a thumbs up and a like, and throw me a comment as well. Let me know what you think about this video. It's going to be a little bit longer one. Please stick around. Please watch till the very end. There's some good stuff coming out here, and we'll talk about a lot of different things, but without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this off. And so what you see in front of you, you probably already have noticed a couple of things, this book and this coin. This is a new purchase here. This is a new win through Stax Bowers, their June auction, and I am ecstatic to share this with you guys. So there comes a time and point in, I think, every collector's careers, if you would, that your niches kind of change, or there's a bucket list item out there that you think, you know what, it's probably never going to be affordable, but maybe I can do some buying, some selling, some trading, etc. to hopefully, upgrade or even, use that funds to go ahead and purchase something. And that's exactly what I did, guys. It took a long time. I've been strongly collecting for probably about, let's say, 7 years now, since getting back into it as an adult with some funds. And I would buy little purchases here and there, $100 coins, so on and so forth. And this coin here has always been on my list. I always wanted one. Never thought I'd be able to afford it, but I finally gathered up the courage to go ahead and sell a large lot of my collection off. Just the same stuff, if you would. Lots of Morgan dollars, lots of peace silver dollars at, different dates, mint marks, etc. that I kind of got burnt out and exhausted from just having so many of them. So Thailand Platinum III, my buddy made an offer on the lot that I was selling, and I ended up selling it to him. And couldn't be happier once I made that switch. I ended up turning that funds around into one single coin, which you guys will see here. And boy, is this the coin of the century, guys. Let's go ahead and just kind of zoom in for you guys can see it a little bit more here. and so this came across. I've been really patient. I was thinking of a 1907 high relief $20 double eagle, but this coin has always been on my bucket list. I just never thought I'd be able to afford one of these things in an appropriate grade that would be pleasant enough to look at, because they're quite expensive when you get up into the XF or 8 or really XF or above. And so this popped up. The other problem with this Gobrecht dollar, if you would, is when they're in lower grades like this, or even in higher grades, a lot of these were used as presentation pieces or pocket pieces or jewelry. And so they're hold, they're repair, they're damaged, so on and so forth. So to find one as such in beautiful circulated condition without any damage is just an absolute fantastic find. And so I had to have it. I had to bid on it, and I bid strong. And so anyways, that's that. This is an 1836 original J60 or Judge 60, which is the pattern catalog of coins. Gobrecht dollar. It's graded in proof 25 and just an absolute spectacular grade. Spectacular coin, and we'll talk about that a little bit. I also have this book here. Already read through the whole entire thing within a day or so. It's a fascinating book that was written, and it's considered, I'm gonna move it over here so we can scan through some of this. It's considered to be the most thorough, up-to-date research on the Gobrecht series there is. So this coin has a significant history, guys. 1830s. If you recall, the last of the silver dollar minting was in 1804, and we really didn't need it. The country was such in its infancy. There was already the circulating Spanish 8 reales and other foreign coinage that the colonists and Americans at this time were familiar with, and that's what they used in commerce. And there wasn't really a need for a larger silver dollar that was minted by the United States. And so in 1804 was the last striking of those. And they're actually dated in 1803, but they were struck in 1804. And that was the last of the silver dollars that we had until all of a sudden in the 1830s, with the new induction of a chief mint engraver, as well as the director of the mint, they decided, and Congress decided, hey, our country's growing, our economy's growing, let's have a representation of our own country's silver dollar. And there was a lot of other things going on as well at that time. But nonetheless, that's why they decided to start striking silver dollars again. And so this book is a phenomenal, very detailed book. I'm not even going to to go through the whole entire thing because it's extensive amount of research down to the scientific rotational alignments of certain coins, as you can see here. And it's just fascinating to see what these guys have done, taking all the mint records, newspaper articles, and further previous research that was conducted on the Gobrecht series. But so anyhow, in 1835, they started to, Christian Gobrecht was hired by the U.S. Mint, and they started to formulate thoughts on how they can go ahead and strike a new dollar. So the drawings, the original drawings, which is located in this book, is pretty fascinating. William Neese was the chief engraver at the time. He suffered a pretty significant stroke, and so Gobrecht was kind of called up to the table to help with the production of this coinage. So you can see William Neese's original drawing of the seated Liberty design here. It's pretty rudimentary, and that was kind of the start of it. They had the idea originally from the British penny, and with Liberty sitting on a rock here, holding the shield, and the little hat there that symbolizes freedom as well. And then they hired a couple of very famous artists back in the day to do the obverse and the reverse. The obverse was conducted for the Gobrecht series by Thomas Soley. This is one of his earliest drawings. You can see here sketches of the Gobrecht series in general. And then Titan Pile, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. And here's some other really cool drawings. He was the artist for the reverse side of the eagle, the flying eagle. And there's a lot of discontent with that. They presented it to Andrew Jackson, President Andrew Jackson, and his cabinet, who there was some arguments going on about, well, maybe the eagle, let's see if I can find, there you go. Maybe the eagle shouldn't have his mouth open. That's not appropriate, but that's a pretty good representation of the Gobrecht series by Titan Pile. And so finally they agreed, and Gobrecht took all those sketches, worked in some of his own sketches, and engraved what most believe is one of the most beautiful coins ever created. And so that is what you see right here, the Gobrecht series. This is the final kind of production of it, very similar to the original sketches by those artists. So 1836, December of 1836, they struck 400 coins originally, the first half of December. Those are held onto by the Mint Cabinet for VIPs and special presentation pieces. One of them went to President Andrew Jackson, which that coin is actually out there. The family, I believe, that still has it in history and whatnot. And so, yeah, so this was the first original. There's also another 600 coins that were minted at the end of December. And the way you can tell that would be by some of the die markers and stuff that you see on here. And again, I just don't have enough time to talk about all the diagnostics and that stuff. But there's 4 different main alignments here. And one quick thing, I just want to scan back to this book here to show you what I'm talking about. There's the coin alignment, which is what you flip the coin upside down. The reverse is going to be now facing upright as such right here. That's die alignment 1. Die alignment 2 is a metal turn. These were actually struck in 1837 from January to March of 1837. And there's all kinds of mint documents for that. There was 600 coins of those struck. They're all dated 1836, which was common back in the day to go ahead and save money on dies and supplies and stuff like that. But the way you can tell is if I were to take this coin and flip it this way, the eagle would be upright, which it's not, obviously. You can see it's a coin turn. And so when I flip it upside down, the eagle is actually facing upwards and onwards. So that's a strict die alignment 1. There was also lots of history on this thing of restrikes. You can see die alignment 3 is a coin turn. And so you would flip it over and it would be facing upright. But the difference here with die alignment 3 is that this is an upside down picture, but the eagle is flying flat and level. These are struck in the 1850s all the way up to what they believe the 1870s. And the reason why was because when coin collecting, the first boom, if you would, was in 1857 after they discontinued the large cent. So the public was like, hey, we really like that design. And so people started collecting coins, and there's a lot of interest in coins, and there's a lot of sketchy things by the mint director, Snowden at the time, who was like, you know what, I'm going to start striking some old dies for popular coins. And the Gobrecht series was a very popular coin, and people liked it. And so that's what they did. They started striking a lot of these restrikes. But the way you can tell, as I said, is the eagle alignment is flat and level. And you can see that in that picture there, as opposed to my coin, the eagle is pointing upwards and onwards. And so that's an original. And then lastly, the coin alignment 4, which this is a very confusing alignment, and there's been a lot of research in the beginning that thought that these were restrikes, so on and so forth, and that, oh, it's flying, it's a metal turn with flat and level. However, comma, the eagle is not actually flying flat and level, and the gentleman in this book here did the research showing that it's actually based on the presentation, or the orientation is to say, of the obverse compared to the reverse. There is an angular die alignment turn that either happened unintentionally or intentionally. When they were reloading the hammer die, the reverse die, it shifted and it turned, if you would, and caused this, what looks like to the naked eye, a flat and flying eagle, but it's actually flying upwards and onwards. And so that's that. Those are now considered, a lot of those, to be original coins as well. The Gobrecht was also struck in 1838. A small amount of pieces of those. Those are very scarce. Those have stars on the obverse with no stars on the reverse. And then in 1839 was the last of the striking. Again, there's lots of restrikes with the 1838s, 1839s, and even the 1836s. But this is 100% authentic original. I've actually reached out to a lot of the experts who wrote this book, and some of the gentlemen who have done extensive research on it to try and find the emission sequence, or in other words, when this coin was struck. And it's believed that this is a die state B, and there's a number of different die states. So very early on in December of 1836, this was struck. The way you can tell that is there's a lot of different die markings on the coin to verify it, but the one that stands out on this coin is that, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it, you can almost see it right there. Right above the A in America in the dentals, you see that extra die chip? I'll put my loop over here. I doubt I'll be able to get a better picture for you. Maybe here, let's see, probably not. I'm not as skilled as some of you hot shots. Yeah, it's not gonna, maybe. Let's see here, where are we at? There you go. Maybe, hopefully, you can see that. Sorry for the blurriness, but there's a die chip, just trust me, right above the A in America, and that is indicative of a die state B coin. So very early on, this coin was struck, and just an absolute spectacular specimen, dudes. I absolutely love this. The Gobrecht series was the highest, not the highest, but the longest running coin design series in the history of the United States. And it was also the largest amount of denominations that this coin design was used for until the Barber series took over on a lot of the different coins. And so I guess I should tell you probably the cost of it. It hammered, and after buyer's premium and everything along those lines, at $9,600. So very expensive. But like I said, I used the money that I essentially bought other coins over almost a series of 10 years and reinvested that into this Gobrecht. A couple other things I want to show you here, just for the heck of it. We'll just close off with, you guys have seen these all together. These are called proofs, although they're not essentially really proofs, they're more so proof-like struck. Proofs need to be struck more than once, and the dies need to be burnished, the planchets need to be burnished, which these were not, but they have that proof-like kind of look to them, and so that's why they just kind of declare them as that. But again, this video is about to end, and I want to get through with showing you the rest of these, because there's just not enough time in this entire video to show the whole entire thing. But that is that. And so this is the dime here. The other one I just showed was the half dime. This was a little change on the obverse. This half and dime that I shared with, there's legend in the obverse. The 20 cent. The quarter, beautiful quarter. Absolutely fantastic look to it here, guys. Love this coin. Got this at the Long Beach Coin Show a while ago. One of my all-time favorite coins I own. This is a half. This is a 62 cameo. Really, really pretty coin as well. Love that no banner on the back. Just a fantastic coin also. And then lastly, it wouldn't be complete without the proof dollar after it was changed from the Gobrecht silver dollar. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a little something out of it. Please give me a comment, subscribe, and until next time, Silver Surfer is out.